TGR News, broadcasting from the State of Israel.
Welcome back to TGR News.
Welcome. And Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach, absolutely. Well, I guess we just jump right into it. This elections, they because of Corona and everything, they had different stations set up. They had one station for the sick, one for the quarantine, and one for everyone else.
I know. I thought that was neat how they did that.
Yeah,
that way everybody could vote. Nobody had the excuse of
exactly.
saying they couldn't do it.
Say I didn't feel comfortable going or something.
Right.
One more thing is Cyprus and Greece have opened up their borders now for Israelis who are vaccinated. And the thing is that Cyprus and Greece are red countries, meaning they're very high cases of corona. So Israel's allowing the Israelis to go to high cases of corona, whoever's vaccinated, and come back with no fear.
I guess they think the vaccination is really protective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or they wouldn't be allowing that.
And it's not saying that if you're not vaccinated, you're not allowed to travel. That's not what we're talking about. Because if you're not vaccinated, you can still travel, just like everywhere else in the world, as long as it's not what they call a red country like they do over here in Europe.
And I think they still have to take
corona tests before and after and all that kind of stuff and everything. Yeah. And one thing though that's not so good, but they have it, is when you come back, they have this electronic like when you're in jail, electronic bracelet where they watch you for the 10 days of quarantine after you fly in if you're not vaccinated.
Make sure you're acting right.
Absolutely.
Israelis are known not to.
No way.
They think rules are there to be broken.
Well, we'll get into what most people are waiting for, politics.
Oh, yeah.
The elections and everything. Well, before we get into that, I'll talk a couple things. A security agent drill was run for the Knesset right before the elections, for just in case there was going to be something like the Capitol incident, and it was in the States here.
They wanted to be prepared.
They wanted to be prepared because it seems like everything that happens in America shortly after happens over here. So they did that. I tell you something, two things that one right after the other happened, and it puts out a lot of red flags. During the evening of the elections, all the candidates were out doing their campaigning still and everything. And so the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, he was in Beersheba in the evening of the elections. And when he was there doing his campaigning and everything, a long-range, large missile was fired from Gaza towards Beersheba, where he was. No injuries. There was no one got hurt or anything, but they did fire the missile. And it was during the time that a prime minister was there from Gaza, right? And I would like to see how the states would react if wherever the president was, some country fired a missile at him. So I wonder what they would do then. And probably wouldn't talk about the stuff they talk about over here, right?
That's for sure. They wouldn't blame the terrorists like they blame Israel every time Israel has to take care of themselves. They always blame Israel for stuff that they do.
And shortly right after that happened, after the missile was fired towards the Prime Minister of Israel, Joe Biden came out with a statement. He's giving Gaza $15 million.
Yeah, that's just giving terrorists more money to buy more, missiles and
they just shot
weapons.
A missile at our Prime Minister, and he gives them $15 million.
It's like, here you go. Here's a prize for trying to get rid of Israel.
How bad can you be? How in the face can it be?
Yes, that's for sure. It shows how that administration is feeling towards Israel.
Absolutely.
Plus, I think he's going back to the way Obama thinks, and he's talking about a two-state solution.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And the Iran sanctions, for nuclear sanctions and deals and stuff and everything else. It's just
bad.
One thing after another. It's just an attack on Israel.
It really is.
It really is. Yeah. Something to pray about. But, okay, back to the elections. 6.5 million Israelis this election were eligible to vote, being of the right age, right, and being an Israeli citizen. only 51%. I don't know what the percentages are in America that actually go to vote. So I don't know if it's better or worse, but only 51. Here it's bad.
Yeah.
Only 51% of eligible voters actually voted this election.
But I think that's mainly because of the fourth election, and they're just so
tired of
upset
it.
with everything that's going on.
But one thing that's interesting is most of the people who didn't show up were from the Israeli Arabs. Most of the Israeli Arab population did not come and vote. And yet, still, RAM. RAM is the United Arab List, not the joint list that with the Arabs and the Israelis together, the Arab Israelis and the Jewish Israelis together. This is the Arab list, which is just the United Arab List, was only Arabs. So they only got 4 seats, which was pretty low for them, which is good for us. But still, we'll talk about that in a minute. How it's getting a little complicated, this election.
Oh yes.
So the election results, I won't go into every single party because a lot of parties are small. We'll just go over the big ones, okay? The election results was Likud got 30 seats, by far the winning party. Yesh Atid got 17 seats. Now that's the Yair Lapid, the major party for the left wing and the people we don't like. Yamina, which is Naftali Bennett, he got 7. Ram, the one we were just talking about, the United Arab List, got 4. Now the reason we put those 2 in, even though they're smaller ones, is you'll see in a minute. To make a coalition in Israel, you have to have 61 seats.
Exactly.
Okay? So the left right now have 57 seats.
Yes.
Right? That's Yair Lapid and the left group have 57 seats. And the right have only 52. We're smaller. On the right, we have 52 seats. Now the reason I talked about Yamina and Ram, which is Naftali Bennett and the United Arab List, is because they're the ones who are gonna swing it. Either or, the United Arab List, which it very possibly could be, goes to the left.
Yeah.
They got 61 seats over. It's done.
Yeah.
We don't have a right wing government. We have a left wing government now. And for us, for the right wings to win, we have to get also Yamina, which is Naftali Bennett, and the Arab List in our right wing to be even possibly make 61 seats. So it's bad. It's really bad situation.
Bad.
It's all on the United Arab list. They've somehow in this Jewish nation, after this election, all the power goes to this little Arab party. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is crazy.
and Yamina. Naftali Bennett is not talking so clearly, like he's still thinking about going to Bibi. He's still leaning towards the left, get rid of Bibi.
Yeah.
Right, which would be it. It'd be over and done with if he did that. We would not have a right wing government. And another thing that's going on right now is the left wing together. Since they're gathering together, they're trying very hard to push once again for the second time the law that a person that is charged with a criminal crime cannot make a coalition in Israel, and if they succeed in doing that, then it's over too. And Bennett looks like he's going to go for it because he's trying so hard with only 7 seats to become the prime minister, which would be the first time ever anything like that would happen, and it would be ridiculous if it did. Someone with only 7 seats become the prime minister instead of Likud, who has 30, right?
Right.
I mean, it's just. But that's what he's trying to do, and I think that's all he's looking at. I know Daddy's going to disagree with everything I'm saying here, but that's what it looks like. It looks pretty bad.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's really sad,
Yeah. The last 3 days before the election, of course, there was no big surprise. You had the protesters out protesting hard in front of Bibi's house, and the mainstream media were all up on how bad Bibi is and everything. So that also didn't help. But I mean,
that happens during elections, but it's getting worse and worse and worse.
It is. Absolutely it is.
And another thing is, besides some of the things that are truthful, they have so many lies that just like,
Absolutely.
Like in the States when they had so many lies flying around all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty bad. So let's hope that Naftali Bennett shapes up and gets back over to the right.
Yes.
Because he's still playing both sides of the fence. And even if he does, it is a big deal that we're going to have to either go to the fifth election, which will probably bring no difference as the first, second, and third, and fourth.
Right.
Or we just have to bite the bullet and somehow accept this RAM, United Arab List, inside the right-wing party. You know,
that's not a good.
It's not good, but I'll tell you what, it's not a good choice. But if let's play a game.
Okay.
I'm Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm the prime minister. I've got a couple choices here, right? I need this United Arab List to make a coalition and to be ahead of the government and to continue running this country the way I think it's supposed to be ran, right?
Yeah.
So I have a choice here. I can either make friends with the United Arab List and have them at least in my party and I can control more what's going on, or give up and say I will not let them in my party and lose. And then they end up in the left-wing party, and now the same United Arab List is now still in the government, but it's not even in your right-wing control. It's in the left wing. So, if I was Bibi, I would make friends.
Yeah.
Just for the country.
The thing of it is, every time they have to, we have the election, and then someone gets to try to make the government. You know, the 61 seats. They have to make compromises a lot, and some of the compromises aren't good. But at least, like you said, at least we would have the right wing.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only thing I see that should be done. The Israel Beitenu, our Russian guy, Lieberman, right?
Yeah.
He's always made big fusses about how he would never sit with religious or Arab parties, right?
Yeah.
But he's snuggled in there right with the Arab parties on the left wing now, just to make sure that Bibi doesn't get, you know.
Yeah.
It's
rough.
Yeah,
we need lots of prayers.
Absolutely.
We really do.
Bibi needs to be making the right decisions and making them quick.
Yes, he needs the wisdom. He needs God's help.
Absolutely. Well, you got anything else you want to talk about?
No, just that, you know, we're getting ready to go into Pessach. Of course, this is Shabbat, and Pessach starts Saturday night.
Tomorrow night.
And so I had, you know, like everybody else, having to do the Pessach cleaning and, you know, and go get the stuff we need to last for the week. So for the unleavened bread and everything. So it's been a busy week.
Yes, it's been a busy week.
It's been a busy week, you know.
Okay.
So.
Well, thanks for joining us. And don't forget to join us on thegoldenreport.com.
Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.